Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast.
Good to be here.
Today we're taking a close look at a company that's been making some, well, pretty significant moves recently. Classover Holdings.
KIDZ, right? The education company.
That's the one. We've got information highlighting their shift, a pretty big shift, into digital asset management. This is alongside their core online education business.
Very interesting mix. Online learning and crypto.
Exactly. So our mission today is really to unpack these developments. We want to understand what they might mean for investors like you.
We should look at their stock performance, the strategy itself.
Right, the strategy, the stock, financials, opportunities, risks, the whole picture. Okay, let's unpack this and see what stands out. Is Classover a visionary edtech disruptor? Or is this a company taking on maybe excessive, potentially ruinous risk?
That is the central question, I think. What's really fascinating here is this, let's call it a high-stakes gamble Classover Holdings is taking.
A gamble how?
Well, they're betting that a volatile crypto treasury can actually fuel rapid growth in their edtech side.
Okay, so break that down. Their main business is?
Primarily, they're an online K-12 education platform. Kids aged 4 to 18, interactive learning, that sort of thing.
Standard edtech model, more or less.
More or less. But now they've announced this significant expansion into digital asset management, specifically a Solana-centric treasury strategy.
Solana-centric, meaning they're buying a lot of SOL.
That's the idea. They've entered into this $400 million equity purchase agreement. It's with a group called Solana Strategies Holdings.
$400 million. Wow. And that's specifically to fund?
Buying SOL tokens, yes. Also operating validator nodes for staking rewards and potentially even funding strategic acquisitions.
Okay, validator nodes. That's like earning interest on their crypto holdings.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
They help secure the Solana network and get paid in SOL for doing it. But this whole move, I mean, it's quite a departure from the traditional edtech playbook.
Absolutely. Raising money by selling stock just to buy crypto? That's bold.
It is, and the market certainly took notice.
Oh, I definitely did. KIDZ stock saw some truly dramatic price action recently.
The charts were wild.
Right. On May 1st, just a few days ago, the stock price jumped. Get this, 156.52%.
Wow. In one day.
One day. Went from $1.15 to $3.10. And that was after another huge jump. 73.12% back on April 14.
And these surges lined up with the announcements.
They coincided pretty directly with the Solana strategy announcement and also some positive revenue guidance for 2025.
So cause and effect seems plausible there.
Seems like it. And the trading volume, it's been unusually high. That points to, significant speculative interest, wouldn't you say?
It certainly suggests a lot of attention, maybe speculation. People are reacting strongly.
Building on that, though, that impressive stock performance. It's crucial we look under the hood, right? At their financial projections, their actual health.
That's a key area to examine, because enthusiasm is one thing.
Right. But do the numbers back it up? What do they tell us about whether this excitement is sustainable?
Well, looking at the projections, Classover is forecasting substantial revenue growth for 2025. We're talking 172% to 308%.
That's a huge range, but huge numbers either way.
It is. They're aiming for $10 million to $15 million in revenue. Now, that follows a 19% year-over-year increase in 2024, when they reported $3.7 million.
Okay, so growth is already happening, but this is forecasting a massive acceleration.
It is. They attribute this expected growth to acquisitions and also AI initiatives within their education platform. That top-line growth is certainly eye-catching.
I sense a but coming.
There usually is. The but is that their net losses actually widened in 2024, went up to about $843,000 compared to $433,000 the year before.
So spending more to grow, or cost running away.
Hard to say precisely without more detail. We also don't have clear figures on their debt-to-equity ratio, which would be helpful.
And what about cash flow? That $400 million facility sounds like they might need cash.
It could certainly address short-term liquidity concerns. Their Q1 2025 cash flow reportedly declined by around $189,000.
Okay, so connecting the dots. Rapid growth projection, but widening losses, declining cash flow, and now this big, possibly volatile crypto treasury strategy funded by selling stock.
That sums up the tension quite well. How sustainable is that mix?
That really is the core tension, isn't it? Because on one hand, Classover is trying to position itself as an innovator. You mentioned AI and edtech.
Using AI for personalized learning experiences, that's a potential strength.
And the strategic partnerships like this Solana Strategies one and just this, forward-thinking idea about asset management. It's noteworthy.
It is different. They also just got onto Nasdaq, didn't they, through that reverse merger?
They did, yeah. Completed a reverse merger with Battery Future Acquisition Corp back in April. That got them listed quickly under KIDZ.
So they're playing in the big leagues now, competing in the edtech space with names like Chegg, Coursera.
Established players.
Right. And what's interesting here is their attempt to stand out by integrating blockchain into their financial strategy. Not their product necessarily, but their treasury.
Something their direct competitors haven't announced, as far as we know.
Correct. Which leads to the question, could this actually give them a significant competitive edge? Or is it just adding unnecessary complexity and, frankly, risk?
Potential for both, I imagine.
It certainly does. I mean, being the first Nasdaq-listed company to adopt a corporate SOL treasury strategy that could attract attention, maybe a new type of investor, partners interested in that edtech blockchain intersection.
And the staking rewards you mentioned?
Those could diversify revenue streams, potentially. Operating those validator node earns them more SOL. It's like crypto interest, basically.
Okay. But then the downsides.
The stock price volatility we already talked about.
Yeah.
That suggests market uncertainty, maybe nervousness.
Or just pure speculation driving it up and down.
Could be. And the lack of really detailed financial metrics makes a full long-term assessment tricky.
Right. And putting so much of your treasury into one cryptocurrency
introduces considerable volatility risk to the balance sheet. I mean, SOL's price could swing wildly.
Definitely. What else?
There's execution risk. They're trying to integrate acquisitions, scale rapidly, and manage this new crypto operation. That's a lot to juggle.
True. Lots of balls in the air.
And finally, the regulatory side. The landscape for crypto asset management is still, figuring itself out. That could bring compliance risks down the line.
Okay, lots of risks on the table. What stands out to you as the most significant one?
For me, probably the sheer volatility risk tied to holding so much Solana. While the upside is there, theoretically, a sharp crypto market downturn could seriously impact their financial standing.
I'd agree. That feels like the biggest unknown with the biggest potential impact. So looking ahead, what should people watch for?
Future earnings reports are obviously going to be critical. They need to show this strategy is working, or at least not hurting them badly, to keep investors on board.
Any results from the Solana staking yet? Or is it too early?
It's likely too early for a significant impact on reports, but updates on the execution of that $400 million equity agreement, the timeline for buying the SOL, getting the nodes running, those details will be key developments.
And other catalysts? New partnerships, maybe?
New partnerships, new AI initiatives in their platform, those could act as positive catalysts. On the flip side, shifts in education policy, regulations, or just broader market downturns could obviously hurt them.
What's your take on how the market will react when we do start seeing the initial results of this Solana strategy in their earnings?
It's a complex equation. The market's initial reaction, as we saw, was positive, driven by the novelty, the growth story.
But that can fade fast if the numbers don't follow.
Precisely. Future reactions will hinge on tangible results. Investors will want hard evidence that this Solana plan is generating value, whether through staking rewards or some other strategic advantage.
Transparency will be key then.
Oh, absolutely. Transparency in reporting their digital asset holdings, the gains, the losses, that will be crucial. Any sign that the crypto volatility is messing up their balance sheet or profitability could really dampen enthusiasm quickly.
But if they execute well...
Conversely, if they execute well, show positive contributions, manage the risk, that could fuel even more confidence. It's a high-wire act.
So to kind of wrap this section up, the core insight here really is that high-stakes gamble Classover Holdings is taking, betting that a volatile crypto treasury can fuel rapid edtech growth. For you, the listener, this means there's potential for significant gains, sure, but it comes with a risk profile that's, well, way beyond your typical edtech investment. It's a compelling story, lots of moving pieces.
What this suggests is that KIDZ could be considered maybe for investors seeking high growth potential in edtech and who are comfortable with really significant volatility. A degree of speculation is involved here.
Not for the faint of heart, then.
Definitely not. And it is absolutely crucial, if you are considering it, to closely monitor their future financial reports. Watch the progress of these Solana initiatives and keep an eye on any regulatory developments for digital assets.
Yeah, this isn't a set it and forget it kind of stock.
Not at all. Requires active monitoring.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us for this look into Classover Holdings. We hope this discussion has given you a clearer understanding of the key aspects to consider here.
Hope it was helpful.
As always, we strongly encourage you to conduct your own thorough research before making any investment decisions. This is just our analysis of the available information.
Do your own homework.
Absolutely. And hey, if you found this analysis helpful, please do subscribe, like the show, maybe leave a comment. Let us know if you have further questions or if there are other companies you'd like us to explore.
Your feedback helps shape what we cover.
It really does. It's your curiosity that drives these explorations. And finally, just something to think about. In a world that's changing so fast, could these kinds of unconventional strategies, like Classover's crypto treasury, actually be the key to unlocking new growth? Or do they just represent a dangerous distraction from the core business principles?
A very interesting question to mull over.
Something to mull over indeed. Thanks for listening.